Welcome to dsdatabase.org. I am 6thFinger, and in this video we're going to look at the 6thFinger. This is a very simple piece of hardware that emulates touches on a touchscreen so that you won't be idle for certain mobile games. The 6thFinger was kickstarted back in November, and this package right here with a pouch, an instruction manual, an audio cable, and the device itself was $18. It's supposed to be retailing for $25 when it starts being mass manufactured. So, let's get right into how this works. If you've played mobile games such as Clash of Clans, probably Clash of Clans in this case, you'll know that there's a real drive now to keep players online. For example, in Clash of Clans, if you are online and constantly tapping and moving the screen, people can't attack your base. Only when you're offline can they hit your base. So there's a real incentive for people to bring their tablets around to basically everywhere and just keep tapping their screen. And that's where the 6thFinger comes in. It's a metal cylinder that rests on your touch screen, and you can see that slight movements will cause it to pinch in and zoom out. So this will keep you from idling in the game and will also allow you to walk away from your device to do other things. Now, this device doesn't require any batteries. It actually takes in an audio jack and connects straight to the headphone jack, and it's very, very impressive because you don't have to, it's not battery operated, you don't have to use any weird technology. Basically, any touchscreen device should have a headphone jack anyways. I think we can best see how this works on something like this, and you can see that it's randomly shifting the points. It has 2 points at the bottom, and these are constantly in use. So you're not going to see a swipe. This is a sketchbook, so normally if you're tapping or swiping, you'd see some drawing lines on the side. But all it's doing is pushing 2 points, spreading them apart, sort of, and rotating them ever so slightly. And once in a while it does rest, and the behavior is pretty erratic. You can see that it goes in an unpredictable manner, and I think that's part of the design so that game developers can't catch on to people tapping the same spot for hours on end. Now, in actual use, I've been using this a little bit on Clash of Clans. The real problem is that it is unpredictable, the behavior. So right now, it's just shifting slightly, but if you leave this on for hours at a time, what I've had happen is that it slowly moves towards the side by zooming and moving out, and it slowly moves here and starts to move elements of my base to places where I didn't want. So it's behaving pretty well right now. It's just zooming in and out a little bit, but if you start doing this for hours on end, it starts moving to the left. I've seen other people go into menus so that you know, the behavior doesn't pose a problem. So if we go into top players and we place it down somewhere here, it's not so bad, and it even taps onto the OK after your 6 hours of consecutive use. If a dialog box pops up, it'll click on it. So overall, I'm very happy with the performance. If we look at the actual hardware, I'm also very impressed. It's all metal. The bottom is metal too, so I thought it might have been like the stylus squishy bottom, but it's all metal construction, and that way there are no moving parts or electrical components. So actually moving parts but no electrical components, so I would think this is pretty durable. But the metal is also a problem in itself. So this doesn't have any sort of suction cup, so if I slide it If I have a tilted screen, it's not so great. You can see it just moved one of my my army camps aside, so it is liable to do that. Overall, I'm very happy with the device. I think it's clever, it works very well. At $25, I do think it is a little pricey. What would have made it a little easier to swallow is if it had some sort of control on the side to adjust the frequency. But for something, a small scale project like this one, I don't really see a problem with it. The other challenge I've had is that this works really well on tablets. I've tried this on an iPad mini as well, but on phones it's not as good. You know, my Surface Pro is very sensitive to touch. I think they expect you to draw, but on a phone it's not as sensitive, and it's also gigantic on the screen. So on my Surface Pro, it'll slowly shift, but on a phone, it'll move all over your base and start tapping all sorts of things. So ideally, you should have a tablet to use with this. So my only complaint with the device really is the price. If they were able to bring it down to $10, $15, maybe even lower, I could definitely see a lot of people paying for this, but you know, there are so many alternatives out there that are homemade or just you tapping it every so often that I find it hard to justify $25. So overall, works and costs a lot. Thank you for watching.